Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another competitive guide for Sun and Moon with me, MegaLugia. We will be covering up Pokemon stats, movesets, damage calcs, team options, and more. There is always room for improvement, so if there's anything you want to add, make sure to let me know down below. But most importantly, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. A like would be much appreciated. But without further ado, my friends, let's get into it. So like I said, today we're going to be looking at Wishiwashi, and don't let its name fool you, because although it sounds like something right out of Blue's Clues, I assure you Wishiwashi eats up Blue's Clues for breakfast and shits it out for fun. Now, having said that, Wishiwashi is the water type, which means defensively it has 2 weaknesses and 2 only of electric and grass, and offensively with its stab it is super effective versus ground, rock, and fire. Water typing is always a great typing to have, having key resistance in fire and steel, and handling very offensive types like fire and ground, especially in combination with the very unique ability that Wishiwashi has, but more onto that later. Now onto its stats. Well, actually that's a bit of a trick question, so let's get into Wishiwashi's ability first. So Wishiwashi's ability is called Schooling, which basically means if Wishiwashi is at level 20 or higher at the start of the battle or at the end of a turn. If its HP is below 25%, it will change into its school form. At the end of a turn, if its HP is below 25%, it will change back into its solo form. The school form is massive, over 9,000 beast form basically, but quickly covering its solo form, it has a base stat total of 175. Basically, as you can see, pretty poor, nothing really stands out. You're going to want to avoid this form as much as possible, so as the ability describes, keep that HP above 25%. But moving on to its schooling form, we now see that this monster stat total of 620 splits up into 45 base HP, 140 attack, 130 defense, 140 special attacks, 135 special defense, and 30 speed. So yeah, a massive spike in stats. Funny enough though, losing 10 base speed from its solo form, but I'm sure you would take that trade for the massive attacks. So again, similar theme of Gen 7, very slow speed, but those massive attacks and defenses will help you eat up hits as well as thrive in Trick Room. And now for an overview of this Pokemon. So as I said, its 2 weaknesses and amazing bulk really helps a big boost in its ability, which is dependent on your HP level. So any luxury you can have in favor is always a big help. Also, having an equal attack and special attacks at 140 means it's very unpredictable to what form of attack you're going to go for, giving Wishiwashi a threatening advantage. As for its move pool, it has access to Waterfall, Aqua Tail, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Earthquake, Double Edge, Bulldoze, Endeavor, Facade, and U-Turn for momentum. For support moves, it has access to Aqua Ring, Rain Dance, and Soak. Yeah, not too much to brag about there. Gen 7 is Gen 7, and Trick Room is always a viable option or even a necessary option in some situations. And outside of Trick Room, with some speed investment, it can be a very powerful wall breaker, and if it outspeeds everything thanks to Trick Room, it can easily sweep a team. And now onto the first potential moveset. You're going to be holding the Life Orb with a Brave Nature, rocking the moves Aqua Tail, Ice Beam, Earthquake, and either Endeavor, Double Edge, or U-Turn. The EVs are 72 HP, max attack, 180 special attack with 0 IVs in speed as well to be as slow as possible in Trick Room, so keep that in mind. So this set is meant to be used in Trick Room. The EV spread allows you to guarantee a knockout on especially defensive Zygarde with Ice Beam after Stealth Rocks, and the rest put into attack and HP. Aqua Tail is your strongest water type move, but you can go for Waterfall with reduced damage but 100% accuracy, Earthquake to hit Pokemon like Magnezone, and the last move is up to you with Double Edge allowing you to 2-hit KO Tapu Fini or U-Turn for momentum, and Endeavor actually being a really interesting option, since Endeavor does bring your opponent down to the HP level that you are at. So if you do end up in that solo form below 25% HP, not being able to do much damage, you can go for one last ditch effort to bring them down to your low HP level so you can knock them out with another Pokemon on your team. Also, I do want to say that a lot of these sets will be having the Life Orb, and that is pretty counterintuitive because you'll be losing HP every turn and you want as much HP possible to not go into your solo form, but the Life Orb just gives you that extra power to pick up knockouts. You aren't planning on keeping Wishiwashi around forever, but if you want to, you can go with another boosting item like a Choice Band or Specs, or like a Splash Plate for example. On to the next moveset. It's going to be a pretty similar, more of a special set with the moves Hydro Pump or Scald, Ice Beam, Earthquake or U-Turn, and HP Electric. The EVs are max special attack, 168 HP, and 88 attack, holding the Life Orb with a Quiet Nature. 88 attack allows a guaranteed Oko versus a max HP Alola Marowak after Stealth Rocks. The rest of the moves are pretty self-explanatory. Hydro Pump and Scald dealing massive damage, U-Turn for momentum, and HP Electric is there solely for Tapu Fini, so it does get 2-hit KO'd. So more of a specially offensive set, and it is up to you if you think that works better on your team. The next moveset is going to be a little bit more gimmicky. The moves are Aqua Ring, Substitute, Scald, and either Earthquake or Ice Beam. You'll be going with the Bold Nature, holding the leftovers with max HP, 124 defense, and 136 speed. Enough speed to outspeed Pokemon like Marowak at base 45. We'll get more into the specifics later on, but the EV spread allows your Substitute not to be broken by a lot of Pokemon. So basically with this moveset, Aqua Ring allows you to slowly gain HP in combination with leftovers every turn, especially when setting up a Substitute, and then Scalding for damage as well as having that chance to burn, and Earthquake so you're not completely walled by water types, and Ice Beam for Pokemon like Dhelmise or Decidueye. There is also the option of Toxic as well, so do keep that in mind. The idea of this set is not meant to sweep, but annoy your opponent by being behind a sub, constantly gaining HP, and slowly chipping them down with attacks and burns as well. It can be really good if used effectively, but lacks the pure power that the offensive sets have. And now moving on to the next, the gimmicks continue with a pretty standard moveset and EV spread that you've seen from the previous sets, but this time holding the Figgy Berry. This set does lose some of the power that I talked about earlier with no Life Orb, but you do not lose HP every turn, as well as the Figgy Berry, which when at 25% HP or less, restores half of your max HP instead of the less HP recovered from a Citrus Berry. It does require a lower HP to activate, but works well with the combination of Wishiwashi Solo Form requirement of 25% HP. Again, it still does hit hard and gives the cushion of getting all your HP back and staying in that full form of power, full Beast School form. And the final set, just another little variation, but I had to include some form of Z-move for this Pokemon, just becoming a devastating nuke button, which will be in the form of the Water EMZ, allowing Hydro Pump to become a 185 base power move, turning into Hydro Vortex, and just tearing through an opponent. More damage calcs later on, and you'll also have the option of Facade on this set, just in case you do get burnt, you'll be ignoring that burn and still dish out massive damage since you have no boosting item like a Life Orb or choiced item. And now onto some quick damage calcs. So with a Life Orb and max attack, Aqua Tail 2-hit KO Specially Defensive Celesteela, Specially Defensive Skarmory, Ice Beam 73% minimum versus a max HP Tapu Bulu, Earthquakes 2-hit KOs Bolt Toxapex, and Double Edge 2-hit KOs max HP Tapu Fini. Now with a Life Orb and max special attack, Hydro Pump OHKO's Magnezone, 83% minimum versus a Mega Metagross, HP Electric 2-hit KOs max HP Tapu Fini, and Ice Beam 2-hit KOs Assault Vest Dhelmise. With the leftover substitute set, defensive Alola Marowak and Toxapex cannot break your substitute, Mandibuzz knockoff does 90% max, Celesteela's Air Slash does 26% max, and you deal tremendous damage back to all of those Pokemon. And now onto the Water EMZ Hydro Vortex, which is 185 base power. You OHKO defensive Mandibuzz after Stealth Rocks, 62% minimum versus a max specially defensive Celesteela. You OHKO Tapu Lele, OHKO Mega Scizor after Stealth Rocks, and 64% minimum versus a specially defensive Zygarde. And now for some team options. This is basically going to be a Trick Room team, with the two main Trick Room setters being Magearna and Porygon, who are very defensive, with Porygon being more defensive and Magearna being more specially defensive, with some nice typing synergy between your partners. Alola Marowak resisting your both grass and electric type weakness, Vikavolt being immune to ground type moves, which helps your Magearna and Alola Marowak, and basically just the rest of your team being able to thrive under Trick Room and just putting huge dents in your opponent's team. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a competitive guide on Wishiwashi. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to let me know what you want to see me cover next, and until next time, it's been your boy MegaLugia here checking out. Peace!